everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial we're going to be teaching how I made this Bubu gown with its drawstring pocket. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you're a new subscriber, you're welcome. I was able to achieve this with a 4 yards of Ankara fabric and a scrap of crepe material that I had. If you find this video helpful, kindly give my video a thumbs up. Without wasting much of our time, let's get right into the video. Thank you so much, guys, and let's get right into it. So I have my Ankara fabric here on fold of 2. I've marked my starting point. Then I'm going to mark the length, the full length, which is about 60 inches. I'm just going to mark it right here, and I'll add 1 inch hem allowance to it. I hope you understand, as you can see. So after doing that, now the next thing I'm going to do is to come up here and mark my shoulder line of 8.5 inches. Mark your shoulder line right here, and I'm going to mark it like so. Then I'll mark the extension, that is the sleeve length I want. So I'll mark 12 inches here. Then I'm going to add ½ inch for joining to the crepe fabric I'm going to be joining it with later. I hope you understand. So after that, I'll come down by 1½ inch for slope, for shoulder slope here. I'll connect it now to the neckline. So my neckline is 3 inches right here. Mind you, we are working with the back first, so I'll mark it to the neckline right here. And after that, I'm going to come down by 1 inch for the neck depth, like so, for the back. So I'm just going to mark it like this, and the next thing I'm going to do is to come down by 10 inches for my armhole length. You can mark whatever you prefer right there. Then after doing that, I'm going to mark my bust measurement. Mark your bust measurement here. On this part now, you can add 3, 4, 5 inches. I added 2 inches because that's what I want. So you can add 5 inches, 6 inches, 7 inches, even 8 inches, depending on how big you want it to be. So after that, now I'm just going to connect it like so, as you can see me doing. Then I'm going to just mark my waist length now. If you want your Bubu gown to be big, you don't need all this. Just mark what you have on the bust part. Just mark it on the hem line. But I want mine to be a little bit shapy. So on the waistline here, I'm just going to come in. I'm going to measure what I have on the bust. And whatever value I have there, I'm going to -1 and mark it on the waistline. Like I said earlier, you can mark the same thing on the bust to the hemline if you want a very free Bubu gown, the normal Bubu gown. So this is just like a Bubu kaftan. So I'm going to mark what I have on the bust line to the hip line. Then I'll mark the same value on the hemline, as you can see me doing right here. Then after doing that, now I'm going to connect that line just like so. I'll connect it like this to the hemline, from the hemline to the hip line, then from the waistline to the hip line like this. So after doing that, now I'm going to just come down here by 2.5 inches. Then I'll curve the armhole area like this. I hope you understand. Then I'll just come here and just cut out, adding my ½ inch allowance on the shoulder line so that I can use it to join to the other part. I come down here by 1 inch for the length, the armhole length, the length allowance. I understand the sewing allowance for the armhole length. So after doing that, now I've cut it out, and this is what I have. I'll get my fabric and place it on fold for the front part. So after placing it, now you can see I'm going to mark 3 inches. I'm going to mark 3 inches from the starting point all the way down to the hemline. After doing that, now I'm going to mark it, and I'm going to connect the lines from the top to the hemline, as you can see the blue line here. So after doing that, now I'm just going to cut it out, and I'm going to replace it later. So I've placed the back on the front pattern here, just as you can see. Make sure that the neckline are matching perfectly. Then I will start cutting. So this is before I cut out my 3 inches actually. So I'm done now. So I've cut out, I'm just going to cut out the 3 inches now, because I've cut out exactly what I have on the back. I've cut it out on the front. Then after that, now I'll now remove these 3 inches that I have here. I hope you understand. So after removing it like so, the next thing I'm going to do is to work on our pockets. Now I'm going to mark wherever you want your pocket to start from. I want mine to start from this 17 inches here. Then I'm going to mark it, and I'm going to just make a straight line right here. just a very faint line just to make me know where this is starting from. So here is the pocket. The width is 8.5 and the length is 10 inches. I hope you understand. So I'm just going to just continue. Then I'm going to get this fabric here. This is about 5 inches and it's on fold. The width is 1 inch. So what I'm going to do here now is that I'm just going to match it together like this. I'll merge it together, right side facing each other, and I'm going to run an ½ inch stitch on it. So this is what you're going to do. On this upper part here, you're going to stitch. This is the down part here. So on this upper part here, there's a midpoint in this fabric here. You're going to stitch up onto the upper part here with ½ inch. Then from the midpoint, you're going to leave ½ inch and stitch ½ inch. The ½ inch you are leaving is for the hole. I hope you understand. So this is what I have after. I'm going to stitch it down like so. Then after stitching it down, I'm just going to bring it back and just stitch it down like that. I'm going to just, you see, I've ironed the pockets and so that I can get the midpoint. I've ironed this part as well. So now what I'm going to do now is to take that part that has hole. I've divided this into two like this. So the one part has hole and the other part does not have hole. That is if you have done it correctly the same way I have done it. So just merge the part that has hole, the midpoint of this little fabric we have here. You're going to merge it with the midpoint of the pocket and stitch on it, leaving the hole. Make sure that you did not stitch on the little hole that we have here. Just stitch right on it all the way down. Then after doing that, you're going to turn it to the other side like so and close it back. I hope you understand. You're just going to pipe it inside like this, just like this, all the way down, the same way you have done to the other side. I hope you understand. So I'm going to bring it. So here is what I have after I am done. You can see our hole here. Please take your time, and if you do not understand, just ask me in the comment section and I will explain. I have our drawstring here. So the length is about 16 inches, and now I'm going to have just folded one side and I did not fold one side in. So this is the side I did not fold. I'm going to put my pin inside and I'm going to just put my pin inside like this, and I'm going to put it in like this. I hope you understand. I did not fold the edge of this side that I put my pin in. So we're just going to put it like this and pin it down. I'll repeat the same thing, the same process for the second rope, and I'll just put it in like this as well. I hope you understand. Just put it in like this as well, and I'm going to make it stop on this edge here, removing the pin, draw it back in and make sure that it's at the edge of the pocket. Then I'm going to pin it down like so as well. I hope you understand. So after doing that, this is what I'm going to stitch it down here and stitch it down here as well. Then we can, so now you can see what I have, and I have just gone ahead. You can see the sides are folding ½ inch on both sides and 1 inch at the down part. So I'm going to place it like this. So for you to know where to place it, you can just take your tape and just measure what you have here, divide it by 2, then get the midpoint, and then you can just place the midpoint of the pocket on the midpoint you have just marked, and you will just place it like this. Then place it properly. You can pin it down if you have to. Then you're just going to stitch on it. That is why it is easier when you have ironed. Just stitch on it like this and like this, leaving the upper part opened. So here's what I have after I was done stitching. You can see what I have. So this is our drawstring pocket, and you will see the second part that I have made as well. So this is for the second part, and now I'll come to the sleeve part. I'll measure what I have there. This is about 22 inches. Then I'll get my crepe fabric now, unfold. The width of the crepe fabric is 3 inches and the length is about 23 inches. I hope you understand. So I have folded in ½ inch on both sides. That's so I have 2½ inches left on the sleeve width. I hope you understand. So I'm going to place it like this. You can interface it for stability. You know, the crepe fabric is always a bit stretchy. That's why I added interfacing. So you can just place it like this, place it inwards like this, and place it over like this again and pin it down. Then just put the Ankara fabric in between the crepe fabric and stitch it down. I think that's actually the fastest way to do this. So I'm going to stitch it down like this, and I'm going to bring it back for you to see what I have. I hope you understand at this point. So now this is the sleeve we have right here, and I'm going to repeat the same process for the other side as well. Now after doing that, now the next thing I'm going to do is to come here to the neckline. I'm going to merge the neckline like this, making sure that the shoulder parts are matching. Then I'm matching perfectly. Then I'm going to make a notch on the middle point of the back neckline like so. Then I will start to measure from the notch part that I have. I'll start to measure all the way down to the hemline, and I'll measure what I have right there. If you have watched my video to this point, please kindly give my video a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching. So I have 60 inches in, then I'm going to continue and take my tape. So now what I have here is about 65 inches. Now, so I have cut out 65 inches multiplied by 2. I have 130 inches here, and the width is 3 inches on fold. I hope you understand. So that's 3 inches on fold, and 65 inches multiplied by 2, 130 inches for the length and 6 inches for the width. So I folded it and I have 3 inches each. I hope you understand. Now, so what I'm going to do now is to come here now, a midpoint here. Then I'm going to be marking the length, that's the depth of my neckline. So I want mine to be 13 inches. Then I'm going to just mark the 13 inches here. You can mark your preferred neck depth for the front. I hope you understand. So I'll mark 13 inches here. Then I'm going to open it up to the wrong side, making sure that the right side is facing each other. Then I'll mark that 13 inches that I have. I will notch it right here. Then I'm just going to open it up, making sure that the right side is facing each other. I'll open it up to the wrong side. I'll make sure that the notched area are matching like this. I hope you understand. The notch area are matching like this, and then I'll just place it properly down. Then I'll just make a line on this notch area to know where I'm going to be starting from. I'll make a line on this 13 inches like so. So you can see that we already ironed it, so we have that middle point mark line. So I'm just going to stitch all the way down from that 13 inches into the midpoint that we have like this. I hope you understand. All the way to the hemline. So this is what I have after I was done, and I've ironed it, and this is what I have. So now I'm going to bring the bodice now, and I'm just going to get the midpoint where I notched earlier, the middle point of the back, and I'll place the middle point here, and I'm going to place it and notch it, and just place the notched parts on each other. I hope you understand. Make sure that the notched parts are merging like this. Then I'm just going to pin it down, then I'll start stitching. I hope you understand. So I'm just going to start stitching like so. Just stitch like so. From this midpoint here, stitch all the way down to the hemline for this part here. Merge it together like this. Make sure that they are merging properly. Then you're just going to place it like this. Just stitch it all the way down to the hemline, and you're going to repeat exactly the same thing for the other side as well. I hope you understand. So you can see that we have excess here, so make sure that you had about 1 inch excess to it, so you don't have a shortage in case. So this is what I have after I was done. You can see how neat it's looking, and this is it. So what I'm going to do now is to fold these sides together like so, and I'm just going to hold in my 1 inch side, that's my 1 inch sewing allowance. So now from this down part here, which is the hemline, I'm going to mark my slit length for the sides. So I'll mark 15 inches. You know, we have 1 inch here for the hemline, so I'll mark 15 inches here. Then I just decided to just come up. You can see we have an opening, so we're having a slit here. So I just decided to come up by 1 inch just to make it 16 inches. Plus 1 inch hemline, we have 17 inches here. You can mark your preferred slit length here. So this is going to be the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you find this video helpful, kindly give my video a thumbs up, turn on your post notification, and thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you on my next video. Thank you and bye.